Yo, get a load of this. This is Star Toys' Tracker, and it's their version of a third-party Masterpiece Tracks. Dude, he's beautiful, man. Look at that clean, clean undercarriage. And I do intend to start the review in the bot mode, but I did want to showcase the alt mode, just kind of give you a sneak peek, and I'll also showcase the flying car mode as well. And yeah, this is from Star Toys, but it's the same company that brought you TE01, Crimson Wing, the Deformation Blaster, and all those cats. And so they definitely got great alt modes, great bot modes, but sometimes the transformation is a little bit iffy, and he has all of that too. But anyway, let me show you the car with wings, and we can progress to the bot mode afterward. All right, and so here we have him in his flying car mode. Isn't that beautiful, dude? Straight exquisite. Really, really well done. It does take a little bit more effort than I'd like to actually get here from the car mode. This part back here gets really busy, and it is what it is though, you know? That's kind of like their hallmark, if you will. And one of the cool things about Trax, I've always contended that he is kind of like the love child between Mask and Transformers. You guys know Mask, Mobile Armored Strike Command? They used to have vehicles that can convert into other vehicles, but now with the addition of Transformers, it turns into a robot. And so he's right at the crossroads, and I think he does a brilliant job of it. But anyway, stick around. I'll show you the robot mode, and I'll show you the transformation into car mode and flying car mode, and that will be the video. So appreciate you hanging out, okay? Here he is, man, and that's a good looking bot, isn't it? So cool, man. I really like posing this dude. Tons of mobility and flexibility. He has a double crunch, one over here and one more over there, so that's really, really cool. And he also has a spin, a little bit of collision, so you may not be able to get the full 360, but still nonetheless, very, very nice. These hip joints are a little bit weird and questionable because as you can see, this hip skirt operates independently of the leg. And so if you were to bring the leg up, that's cool. But when you bring it down, you can see it's bare. So you got to bring that back and just kind of tilt it forward. I mean, but minor, dude. He's so nice. And you can tilt the head back and get him into some like cool flying poses as well. And so like total aura farming, total presence, total whatever you want to call it, but like, dude, it's just really, really well done. So kudos to these guys, right? These are the same guys, like I said, who brought you Transform Element TE01, Deformation Space's Crimson Wing, the Blaster, the Star Toys Blitzwing, which I'm forgetting what they call him. But yeah, dude, it's from that same line. And so the bot modes and the alt modes, they're always going to look good. But the transformation is it's a little bit if. It's a little bit if. As you can see over here, the shoulders, there is a lot going on, man. There is a lot going on. And some of it looks a little crude, but the plastic is pretty durable, and so I'm not too worried about that. And there's a couple of things that I feel that are extraneous, like these two metal bars back here. They're meant to kind of like, I don't know, just swing down and like plug into these bits, but I never find them doing that, and they're just always just kind of hanging over here. And plus, this piece is not going to go anywhere because it's wedged in between this and the hood of the car, and so I don't think that was particularly necessary. Also, the way they convert this thing, oh my gosh, dude. It is a bit over-engineered, and I would have preferred it if you could just kind of like pop them out. I think that would have been much nicer, and but still, allow it to store. Just make it so that you can kind of remove it because, yeah, there's some plastic on plastic crimes going on, and I'm never a fan of that type of stuff. I hate when they flex, you know, when the plastic has to flex and bend and do weird things. Sorry, I'm just trying to put him in the Optimus pose. The pose, you know what I'm talking about? But real talk, like these cats are like what X-Transbot dreams of. Sophisticated bot modes, alt modes, and transformation and stuff, but having good quality QC and manufacturing and parts. Like, yeah, X-Transbot wishes that they were these folks, but they're not. They could be if they stepped it up, but they won't, and that's okay. Because these guys will occupy that space for time immemorial. Memorial? Forever. That's what I was trying to say. But anyway, now that I've kind of shown you his bot mode and some of his cool posability, flexibility, and just kind of overall limberness, let's go into the transformation. Let's go into the transformation and see if you still like him. I still like him, but you can be the judge, okay? Alrighty, and away we go. Make sure to have a spudger with you, okay? And you gotta, what is it? Close up the hand, and make sure you kind of like bring the thumb down like that, and then you're gonna do that. And then from there, I'm laughing because I've transformed him a ton of times already, and yeah, it has gotten easier, but Still a little rough around the edges. So we're going to open that, and then we're going to turn this. This only spins one way. Okay, and I think I got it. Okay, cool. And then we're going to close that up, and then this is going to close back up like that. Let me do the other side off camera, and I'll be right back, Jack. Alrighty, now we got both arms done. Oh, man. I approached this back part with trepidation, dude. It's, all right, you'll see. So you got to open this up, and that's fine. There's just a lot of bits and panels and stuff, and this thing, it will hug the roof of the car, actually, so it's held in place. These tabs over here also connect to the underside. I don't know if you could see it. You can kind of see some slots on the other side of this, right? Inside over here. Those all connect to there, but it's hard to see, so you just kind of have to try to figure it out. But it's really this thing that kind of keeps this shut, and so we can kind of bring that down and start opening these things up for the sake of clearance. And then what you're going to do is you're going to just pull back on this piece like that. And now we have exposed that cavity over here. I don't know if we need to bring these down. Nah, we'll do that later. So the head. In order to get it to flip back down, you gotta untab it here. You're gonna hear a bit of a click. You hear that? So that thing clicks, but it also has kind of left some minor abrasions on the plastic. Not a big fan of that. Not a big fan of that at all. I feel like they didn't really need that because it stays in place pretty well. And now the way this folds up is kind of tricky. It's not just like this. This entire thing is going to fold the other way, and it's going to sit deep into that pocket over there. In order to do that, you have to like bring this up, and then you also have to bend that back. And there is a bit of a knuckle joint. You'll feel it undo itself. But if you get it right, like I'm not doing right now, because this whole thing has to rotate back like that. Yeah. And then it will sit in there like so. And you'll know you got it right when this little like lip over here is kind of standing up at an angle like that. You see it, right? So let me just make sure he's all tucked in. Okay, cool. Let me clear my mental stack and we can jump back in. Okay, cool. And so yeah, I had to kind of do that. Oh, before you do this, you want to flip this bit up. It's not necessary per se, but these little tabs will lock in. Oh, I just spat on my phone. Nice. These little tabs will lock into the underside of like all of this once we're done. And so you do want to do that, but if you missed it, then whatever, you missed it, that's fine. And then we'll just kind of bring that up and it will, excuse me, it will double hinge back here like that. Let's see. I guess we'll work on this. I'm trying to avoid working on this because it's my least favorite part of the transformation. You're going to make sure that the metal bars over here, which are, in my opinion, like I mentioned earlier, pretty useless, they're going to be hanging down. This bit, it is over-engineered in my opinion. And I think this could have been solved by just having these removable. It's like you can still keep it here and it still stores, but it would have just saved a lot of headache if they had made it removable. And so what you're going to do is you're going to open these up and you're going to hide that in there. And then you're going to bend this like that. Same thing for the other side. Just kind of pop this open and do that. And by the way, can you guys hear the difference in my new mic setup? It's supposed to be different. This is the first time I'm recording a long form video with the new microphone. So I don't know, maybe you like it, maybe you don't. Okay. So this piece, this entire piece, it's kind of stuck here. It has to rotate forward. But okay, before we do that, you see this yellow bit in the center? You got to fold that back. And you see these bits over here? I don't know. Here, you know what? Let me get the spudger and show you. There are these little arms over here, right? And so those arms have to get dislodged. They come down like that. You saw what happened, right? And now you can push that through, but don't push it all the way through yet, because what you need to do now is making sure that I have enough clearance. This has to rotate through here. Oh, that's not comfortable. And there's some plastic on plastic crimes going on over here, but that's what you got to do. Okay. And now we'll come to the other side. Oh, sorry. Push this all the way through. And now we're on the other side and just kind of flatten everything down. And then you're going to rotate these things inside. Yeah, it's my least favorite part of this toy. There's a couple of other parts that I'm not a huge fan of either. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. It certainly isn't. It's sophisticated and it does what it's supposed to do, but it just doesn't have that finesse, that free-flowing finesse, you know what I mean? That Vanessa Williams. You guys know Vanessa Williams? No, probably don't. That's okay. I know some of you will, and you're like, yeah, dude, I know Vanessa Williams. Okay. Next, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to pull this out. And so I think this is where the spudger is going to come in, because I can't find a good place to grab this, but you see that sliding joint right there? That has to come all the way out. Same thing for this side. You just can't get a good grip on it. And cool, because if you don't pull that out and you try to swing the arms around, you're going to get a lot of plastic on plastic crime. Don't want to do that, right? And also I noticed this thing over here, these holes are asymmetric. I'm not exactly sure what's up with that. But yeah, it's all carved out like that. Anyway, something's supposed to go here, like a matrix or something? Am I tripping, dude? I don't know, man. All right. And now, as this is all happening, you can see this is going to be the front of the car. This is going to be the back of the car. You can start double hinging these windows down. Sometimes they like to pop off. And if that happens to you, then just pop them back on. But you can see it's coming together, right, Heather? Cool. Hey, you know what? My mental stack is doing okay. And when I talk about mental stack, it's basically just too many things kind of forming in my brain, and I lose track and I start getting confused and stuff. But I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. I'm quite proud of myself, to be honest. This part, you know what? One part I forgot to bring down, but you're going to have to bring this down. Same thing on the other side as well. So there's just a tiny piece. Bring that down. Cool, right? What else do we got to do? What else do we got to do? You're gonna move this out of the way. Oh, one thing. So these windows over here, right? You got to make sure that, I guess they were already slid down, but yeah, you got to slide them down all the way like that. And then what's going to happen is this you want to bring down over here, and this is going to close up like that. And so with that in mind, you start orienting this, because you got to understand that that's the wheel well, right? And then this, hold up. I'm doing something wrong. Okay, hold on for a second. Yes, so I did figure it out. And so that's what it's going to look like over here. Of course, you can clean it up so everything is kind of aligned a little bit better like that. What I forgot to do is I forgot to bring this piece up like that. And here's the crazy part. You see that bit right here? So you have to pull this outward. It's like such a small motion. Like that's it. That's really it. But you have to do that. And then you can spin that, and then you can spin the arm around like that. But you got to make sure that it's out like crazy, right? I was watching TMR's reviews and TM reviews, and he called it obnoxious. And I was like, dude, that's such an accurate way to put it. And shout out to him, dude, because this thing didn't come with instructions. I had to watch his video to figure it out. It does come with a QR code, but I couldn't really follow that individual's instructions. So yeah, shout out to TM reviews. All right, I'm trying to figure all of this out. Okay, that's gonna go all like that. That's gonna go all like that. I don't know if you can hear the noise outside, but don't mind that. I live on a very busy street. Okay, And then those two prongs right over here are going to tab in up here. And I don't know if you can see it. But once you get it, you can set it and forget it. I don't know, I heard that in an infomercial somewhere. So the arms, there are these tabs right down over here, right? Or no, it's this one. So you're going to orient it so that it folds in like that. And then you can bring this down over here and it will tab in like so. And by the way, dude, just to break the fourth wall for a second, just a second ago, my wife and I were watching this Netflix thing called Physical Asia. You guys seen that? It's like in the series of the Physical 100 series. Dude, it's such a good show. It's kind of like American Gladiators, but not really, / Ninja Warriors, not really, but kind of in that same vein. This over here, by the way, this, you need to, I'm not doing a very good job of showing you, but this is supposed to sit flush. You're supposed to be able to tuck it in there. There it goes. Oh, that took way too much effort. But once you get that, you can plug that in over here. But yeah, I've been watching that show and I love seeing genetic diversity. I love it because you got all these different countries from APAC. No, it's a really fun show in my opinion. Oh, this is where I start getting frustrated, man. Where everything starts coming untabbed, it starts driving me crazy, dude. Don't do this to me right now. Don't do this to me. But same thing over here. We got to spin, bring that in, bring that up, and make sure that that bit is plugged into the back. And that one we got a little bit easier. But still, while you're doing that, you got to make sure everything else remains kind of in position too. And getting these to kind of close up is a bit of a burn. So the waist, we're going to bring it down like this. We're going to fold it. And then we're going to fold the legs back like that. I'm not really sure if that was necessary. I mean, I get it. It compresses this, but I don't know, man. Whew. I think I could close this up right now. And maybe that will lock everything in place. Yeah, like I said, if you watched the short and you saw me do the quick conversion, I said it's a bit involved, and it absolutely is. And that's like that. And these you can just kind of untab here, and then you can bring to the side, and it folds down. I just have to remember how it's done because there's a lot of rotating bits here. Like this folds in. And oh, okay. Yeah. It's like that. Come on. Anyway, it's much cleaner, I promise, but I'm just having some difficulty, and this is all like popping off, and it's getting me super frustrated. Okay, hold on, let me clean them up. Okay, I've had some time to breathe. This you can kind of tuck in here and make sure it is underneath the roof, and make sure that this is all tucked in as best as possible. And we're pretty much at the home stretch over here, okay? And so the toe, this is really interesting. You see there's this bridge over here, which I think is cool. They didn't necessarily have to put it there because it's mostly obscured, but at the same time, very nice of them to do that. You need to open this up. And I hurt my nail on this so many times that I'm afraid to try to push it up again. Okay, cool. So you're gonna open that up, and then you're gonna hide that in there. That's kind of cool, right? And then you're going to come to the side and you're going to bring this piece down while simultaneously kind of popping that out, okay? And you're going to loosen that up. And then this bit over here, you're going to fold, you're going to bring back, and then you're going to fold again. Interesting, right? Very, very. And then from here, what's going to happen is you're going to flip this all the way back. You need, and that's just temporary because you need clearance. And then you're going to bring that to the side. And now, after you've done that, and after you've brought this down, you're going to collapse the leg on itself. And then you're going to bring this down, and you're going to bring that slightly down, and then you're going to bring the toe up, and you're going to sandwich it. And it's going to feel like it's not going to work, you know, but you just press, and somehow it does it, dude. Somehow it does it. And you can flip that around. I'm not going to get to this part yet. Let me just do the other side off camera. And we could just do it together, whatever, dude. Just so I can show you. The legs aren't that bad. It's kind of cool when it works. The most frustrating part we're already past, and that was like all of this with the arms and stuff. I'm not a real big fan of how the shoulders and generally just this top section is designed. I mean, it's cool, it does all the stuff, but just for my personal taste, it's a little over-engineered. Open that up again. Remember what we did over here? We loosened this up. We brought that all the way back. And then we got this piece. Oops. We brought that down. Then we swung this up. Then flip that bit over. And now that this is to the back, we will swing this to the side. And now we will begin closing everything back up. And as we begin to close this, we bring the toe up. And one more time from here, we just kind of, I don't know, man, it just kind of does its thing. It just kind of squeezes down. Okay, this is where it's going to be somewhat of a burn, but it's not too bad. So what you're going to do is, you know that piece that we just connected? You're going to open it up. And why you need to do that is, you see that blue tab, that double blue tab on the door over here? These are two independent pieces. This is not attached to the inner side. So what you're going to do is you're going to hook, you're going to move that in as best as possible. And then after it's in there, and it's not quite in there right now, only after it's in there will you press this back up. So, oh, there we go. There we go. Then you can lock it in place. Oof. Same thing for the other side. Just bring this down and get that into the little channel. It's a little grip. There we go. There we go. I don't know why I do that creepy voice all the time. There we go, Johnny. Okay, and then from here, we can start bringing this down. We can start having these bits together. And make sure the hood's locked in place. And there we go. Trax in his Corvette mode. Woo! Took some time. Took a little bit of time. Let me go take a breather really quick. I'll be right back. All right, so here he is all cleaned up in his car mode. Nice, 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 right? I mean, I gave you that sneak peek earlier, but now just kind of after the transformation, you can see how it looks. And again, very, very beautiful. We're going to progress into the winged car next. And you would think that it's a bit straightforward, but unfortunately it's not. And so, yeah, I'm probably going to have to use a spudger and things like that, because there's a lot of stuff that has to be undone in order for it to kind of work. So, yeah, why don't we kind of start? So these you're going to bring out. obviously, because, you know, you're going to use these for the winged car mode. And initially, I thought it was just going to use that same tab, but it doesn't. It's kind of clever, actually, in terms of what it does. And so we're going to separate this, and then you want to bring this up, because this, all of this, you know, earlier how we kind of had some difficulty lining everything up and locking everything in. Well, unfortunately, you're going to have to kind of like undo that here. You know what? Let me grab this smudger really quick. Because what we're doing here is this part, if you recall, this is the outer shell of an inner portion. This outer shell needs to flip down over here on the underside, and the arms will pop out as well. And this, we will also need to kind of like bring the legs down, or excuse me, the panel and the legs down, because we're going to need to open this up as well. But we can just kind of start over here on the back and making sure that that is untabbed, and that's cool. We got one side. And so now this other side is like, you're gonna have to kind of like make sure that this is all the way down, and then you can almost like crack it in half. I just cut my nails, and so I can't really get a good hold on this, but we want to be able to flip this down, but you can't right now because it's in there. Come on. Oh man. I'm worried about how I'm going to represent this in the short form video. Come on, let's see. You can see it almost wanting to give. You got to make sure that this is loosened up, because this is the locking mechanism for this part. Come on, girl. Come on, girl. I don't know if moving the arms out of the way will help. Maybe it won't right now. But dude, I'm having a lot of difficulty. And I keep pressing down on this, which is not helpful. Did I get it? No. Should I subject you to me trying to open this on camera, or should I try to do it off camera? All right, let me just try to do it off camera. All right, cool. I got one side done. Now I'm pretty confident that I'm going to be able to do the other side, dude. I'm spitting a tall game right now. Let's see. So again, we're just going to dislodge the back. And sorry if you're picking up any ambient noise, by the way. I did get a new mic, but nonetheless, it's still pretty loud outside. We're going to make sure that this is down. And what I had to do was like, dude, how'd I get... It was so clear to me just a second ago. Oh. Yeah, and not the most intuitive. Oh my goodness, I literally just did this, bro. I literally just did this. But how did I... Okay, I got it. That's not exactly what I did on the other side, but whatever, dude. It worked. And that's tough, man. And to be completely honest, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the winged car mode. And so this is just because I wanted to show you all and stuff. But, okay, cool. Yeah. That took way more effort than I would have liked. Okay, so now all of this is going to fold up, and you can see that there's this hinge over here because this needs clearance for the arms to come out. And so at this point, you can untab the arms and you can kind of spin it. Move this. There we go. And just get that out of the way. And then you're going to bring this in. You're going to fold up the mirrors, and this little tab over here that you see right there has to sit inside that groove. So here, let's see if we can do this one. Pop it up, spin it around. Okay, great. That worked fine. Fold it in, fold this in, and bring this down and have it sit in the groove. Yeah, I think that's about it. Cool. And then we're going to bring the arm back, and what we're going to do is at this point, this tire needs to separate, which I also have difficulty doing. It's pegged inside here, and it's cool. You saw that. You heard the kind of like pop, right? So you're going to open that up, and then with the arm, what you're going to do is you're going to flip this piece, and you're going to make that tab in here and have that correspond. And now you see that there's this little tab right there, or excuse me, that slot. You are going to maneuver the arm around so that this, just make sure everything is still tabbed in. We'll tab in to there. As I have great difficulty doing it. Why am I having such difficulty doing that? There we go. Just gonna fold that up like that. Like so. I'm telling you, that took a cool second. That took a cool second, but this is what it will look like underneath for the time being. Okay. All right, cool. Same thing for this side. Just bring that back and open this up. Bring this to the other side, Clyde, and then we can just kind of match it up over here on the bottom. Like so. Bring this up, spin this all the way around like so. Then have that tab into the side. I do wish it was a tighter fit. I mean, this tabs into the side fine, but this is a bit more loosey-goosey. And I know it's just supposed to tab in right there, but I don't know. I wish there was something a little bit more secure than that, but whatever, dude. I can live with that. And then we'll keep these open, because now what's going to happen is we're going to bring this section all down, and so just kind of give it some clearance. And we're going to re-tab everything back in as we had it before. It would have been nice if we could have just flipped out the arms, just lickety-split right underneath, right? And just kind of tab them in there, but no, it's a little sophisticated. And then after you've done that, what you're going to do is you're going to bring this bar forward, and that little tab is going to slot into the tire, which I think is a pretty fun little mechanism. Just need to get the spacing right. Like that. But now the arm is kind of coming untabbed. But anyway, everything is kind of coming untabbed, and it's starting to annoy me. Uh-oh. Rage meter. Rage meter filling. I can feel it. But we're getting there. It's okay. I'm like self-soothing myself. I'm like, it's okay, bud. It's not your fault. Same thing. Bring that around here. Slip it into the crack once you can find it. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do it, but I don't feel like undoing it. Urgh. He does have two fins over here. All right, man. Oh, okay, maybe I could just do that. All right, that wasn't that bad. Then we bring that up, and we close this up, and then we plug that back in there, yeah. But you see, everything's kind of coming untabbed right now, and it's kind of annoying. But if you get everything right, you'll get everything right, and it'll be seamless, even though it does have a lot of like cracks in it. You can get everything to sit right if you make the right endeavor, Trevor. Then you'll feel so clever with your endeavor. Whatever. How's the weather? How's Heather wearing the sweater? Okay, I'll stop. All right, I think that's it. like that. Cool, huh? Cool. And of course, last but not least but not last. Wait a minute, that doesn't work. Least but not last. No, that sucks. Can be like, you're not the last, but you are the least. You're the worst one. But here he goes with that little blaster in the front. Looks good. Looks like a mask vehicle, right? Mobile Armored Strike Command going from this into his jet car mode. Very cool. Very cool. Cleans up nice for the most part. Over here is a little bit busy. I wish this did tab in better, but whatever, do. Say la vie. It is what it is. And overall, it looks very similar to the line art. And so, again, kudos to them. Great job for having the accuracy down for robot and the 2 different alt modes, you know what I mean? And so, yeah, this has been Star Toys' Tracker, aka third-party masterpiece tracks. Get yours at tfsafari.com. Utilize the codes that you see over here and tell them that Bot Benter sent you. I will talk to you next time, okay? Thanks, friends. Bye-bye.